today we're going to be talking about problem-solving strategies when we get to a word problem. Does anyone know what a word problem or a story problem is? Geneva.
A word problem is almost like it's formed in words instead of numbers.
Good. When might you see a word problem, or what might a word problem ask you? Nikki. Well, you might, yeah, I definitely see it on the ABCAT, but can you think of an example of a word problem? Geneva? Let's say I want to use one that has to add with. So let's say Geneva has 6 pencils and Janicia has 5 pencils. How many pencils do they have altogether? And that's a word problem, right? And we can use it when we talk about money. We can use it when we talk about how long something takes. We can use it when we talk about anything, right? So, and we can use it with all sorts of operations. We can use it with multiplication and division and addition and subtraction. And today we're just going to focus on addition and subtraction. So I'm going to give you a sheet. We're going to do it together, all right? And we're going to, this is not so much focusing on our math. It's not so much focusing on, facts like 5 plus 5 and things. It's more a strategy. Do you know what a strategy is? What's a strategy?
A strategy is like almost like I don't know how to explain that, but
it helps you solve a word problem. A strategy is anything that helps you do something. So this is one way that you can use to help you solve a word problem. It's actually an important way. Can you solve a word problem if you don't know what it's asking for? And can you solve a word problem if you don't know whether you're supposed to add or subtract? No, it's very hard. So it says decide whether you would add or subtract to solve each problem below and circle your answer. I'm going to give you pencils. We are going to do it together. And I know Janicia is smart and can pick this up too, so it'll be good. And this is for anybody. This is a really helpful skill for going into fourth grade, going into first grade, going into seventh grade, and going into 6th grade, right? And even though the problems down here might seem kind of simple, it's just a way to help us think. And you can use this strategy when you do difficult problems, okay? So, and we don't have to solve these. We're just going to figure out what we would do to solve them. So, Angel, can you read number 1 for us, please?
Maggie has 5 water balloons and Kyle has 2 water balloons. How many water balloons do they have in all?
Good. And we have to decide whether to add or subtract. And in order to do that, I put down some key words. Key words are words in our word problem that we use. Janicia? Are key words that we can use to help us figure out what to do. So what are the 2 key phrases for addition, Geneva?
all together and all.
And all. And what are the ones for subtraction, Nikki?
How many more and differences?
Good. So in the first question, we have Maggie has 5 water balloons and Kyle has 2 water balloons. How many water balloons do they have in all? And we want to, which key word do we see in there? I don't even ask Janicia. Do you see the word all in the first sentence? Do you see the word A-L-L in there?
Do you see this word? Do you see this word in here? Do you see this word on that?
Do you see it? Yep, I see it. Do you see it? Where is it? That word, do you see it over in this sentence? Yep, you got it. So if in all is in there, what are we going to do? We're going to add or subtract. Angel. Add. So you may circle add on your paper. Circle ADD, okay? For number 1?
No.
Yep. Good. All right. Geneva, can you read number 2, please?
Julian's book is 100 pages long. He has read 30 pages so far. How many pages
And how many more pages?
How many more pages does Julian have to read before he finishes the book.
She finishes the book, good. So, what key words do we see in there, Nikki?
How many more?
How many more? So is that a key word for addition or a key phrase for subtraction? Angel.
Subtraction.
Subtraction, so you may circle subtract. Look for the S word on number 2. Okay, did you see it? I'll help her. I got it. Look for the S word. Is it this word or that word? For the one that starts with the S. The one, is it that one or that one?
No.
Yep, circle it. Oh, the whole word. Okay? Good job. All right, number 3. Let's have, who has not read yet? Angel, Nikki, you haven't read yet? Go ahead.
Caitlin scored a 95 on her spelling test, and Josh scored a 92 on his spelling test. What is the difference between their scores?
Good. So they give you Caitlin's score and they give you Josh's score and they ask for the difference. So that's our key word. Is difference a key word for addition or a key word for subtraction? Geneva.
A keyword for subtraction.
Good, so you can circle subtract. The S word, Janicia. Just like the other one. Yep, and you guys got it too, right?
Can she read the last one?
I can help her, yeah. Janicia, you want to read number 4? What's that first word say? Geneva. Geneva did what? What's the next word?
Goes.
Gave.
Gave. 13.
Miss.
Miss.
It's my name. Do you know my name? Miss Lydia.
Miss Lydia. 12.
You eat
Apples.
Good job.
And Jessica.
Good job.
Oh, Jessica in class.
Oh, cool. Keep going.
And
Gave.
Miss
Mm-hmm.
Lydia.
Yes.
10 apples.
Good.
How many
Mm-hmm.
apples do Miss Lydia
Receive.
receive out?
All
All
to.
the
All together.
all together.
Very good. So, what's the key word in that sentence? Nikki.
All together?
All together. And when we see all together in a question, it tells us to do what, Geneva? Add. So you may circle. Oh, and I didn't. Go ahead and write in add. ADD. Right. ADD. Janicia. Right next to that question. Right here. Right. ADD. Can you do that?
This?
Mm-hmm. Right. A. Good. D. And another D. Very nice. All right. Number 5. Geneva.
Jack carried 30 buckets of water up the hill, and Jill carried 35 buckets up the hill. How many more buckets did Jill carry than Jack?
Good. What's my key phrase in that question? Nikki.
How many more?
How many more? And how many more tells us to do what? Geneva.
Can my sister say?
She knows. Does how many more tell us to add or to subtract? Do you remember? If I say that Jack carried 30 buckets of water and Jill carried 35, and I want to know how many more, am I going to add 30 and 35, or am I going to take away 35 and 30?
Or
I'm sorry?
take away.
Take away. Perfecto. Good job. So another word for take away is what? Subtract. So you may circle subtract. The S one. Yeah. Oh, Geneva, I got it. The S one right there. Circle the whole word. Yep. Good job. Last one. Angel.
Last winter, Anna built 13 snowmen and Elsa built 9 snowmen. How many snowmen did Anna and Elsa build in all?
Good. What's my key phrase in that sentence or that question? Nikki.
In all.
In all. And when you see in all, that tells you to do what, Geneva? Add. So you may circle add.
Have you seen Frozen?
I got it from Frozen. It's one of my favorite movies.
No.
All right. So we're going to go on and do another activity because we're not actually going to solve the problems. If we were to solve the problems, we would take what we just learned about adding and subtracting and we would just go ahead and do the problem. But now we're going to go on to something else. We're going to learn how to come up with our own word problems. Have any of you done that before? Come up with your own word problems? So if I gave you the numbers 2, or if I give you the fact 2 plus 3, could you give me a word problem for 2 plus 3 or a little story with 2 plus 3? What would a good one be?
Jack ate 2 apples,
Mm-hmm.
and then later he ate 3 apples. How many apples did he eat in all?
Very good, and there's our keyword in all. How about if I asked you for a subtraction one? Could you give me a subtraction word problem using 5 take away 2?
Lily had 5 apples and she
Go ahead.
Lily had 5 apples and she ate 2. How many more does she have left?
Okay, well that's a good one actually. And we didn't have that key word in there, left, but that's an excellent other keyword. You could say how many does she have left? If we wanted to use one of the key words here though, how many more or difference?
I did use how many more.
Oh, yes. Yes, but you said how many did she have left too, so that was good. Those are both excellent. Nikki, do you think you could come up with one for 6 take away 3 using the word how many, or using the phrase how many more?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Angel ate 6 oranges.
Mm-hmm.
What was the problem again?
6 take away 3.
Angel had 6 oranges. She gave me 3. And how many more? How many more?
Mm-hmm. Well, we could do if Geneva has 6 oranges and Nikki has 3 oranges, how many more oranges does Geneva have than Nikki? All right, can you think of a good problem for 5 plus 2? Can you think of a name for me? What name do you want to use? Can you think of a good boys or girls name? Geneva. And what kind of food do you want to use? A food? Yeah. So Geneva had, what kind of food do you want to use?
Orange.
Orange. And what number do you want to use?
4
So Geneva had 4 oranges, and we're going to do an adding problem. So Geneva had 4 oranges, and what's another good name, or do you want to use somebody else in here? Geneva had 4 oranges, and Angel had, how many oranges do you think she had? Think of a number. How old are you?
5
So we could use 5. So Geneva had 4 oranges, and Angel had 5 oranges. How many oranges did they have?
altogether.
Very good. How many oranges did they have altogether? All right, I'm going to give you another sheet. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna come up with your very own word problems, okay? For 9 plus 7 and 10 take away 6, and I put the keywords up here that I want you to use. Now, if you want to add, are you all right? If you want to add, how many do they have left? That's fine too, because that's a good subtraction one. But you can just stick to the ones that there's here. You're gonna come up with one adding one and one subtraction one, and I'm gonna help Janicia, because I know you can do it too, right? All right, so go ahead and do those. And if you need help, I will help you, all right? And then we'll talk about them. Okay, Janicia. So, you want to put your name on your paper? You don't have to. Just letting her practice her name. All right. So, what numbers do we have here? What's the first one?
1,
What's this one right here?
9,
And
7.
good. So, what name do we want to use for the first problem?
Lydia.
Lydia? Okay. So we're going to write Lydia. Do you know how to spell it? L Y D I A. Good. And since this is adding, we're going to say which keyword are we going to use? Are we going to use how many more or all together? If it's adding.
How many more?
No, all together. So Lydia had, what do I have? What do you want to say I have?
4 apples.
Lydia, well, we're going to actually use 9 because that's the one here. So Lydia had 9 apples. So you're going to write had. Oh, we need an H right there. Had. And then we're going to put our 9. And then do you know how to spell apples? What's it start with?
A.
A. And then what says
P.
P? Oh, another P. And then O.
O.
And then a silent
E.
E. And then a S.
S.
Yes, good job. Lydia had 9 apples and, we're going to write and. What other name do we want to use?
Jessica.
Jessica. Okay. J. A. S. S. Juice. Oh, you're changing the, good, change it to an E. J. A. Good. S. S. I. Do you know what letter says I?
I.
Yes?
S.
Oh, not quite yet. Let me see. J-E-S-S-I-C. You all done, Angel?
Let's do this.
Okay. A at the end. And then an egg. And then we're going to write had, right? So another had. And how many did Jessica have? What's our second number? 7. And it's 7 apples, right? So we're going to write 7 apples. The number 7. Good. And then we can copy the word apples right there, right? All right, And then we're gonna use our special keyword. What keyword are we gonna use? We're gonna say, how many did they have? Is it gonna be how many did they have all together, or how many more did they have?
More.
How many all together? So we're gonna say, how many You all done, Geneva? Can I see your paper? Very nice. Good job. Okay. How many did they have in all, right? Or how many did they have all together? That's good. Now, let's go on to this one. What number is that?
10.
And what number is that?
6.
Good. Now, this time I'll just let you tell me in words. We won't write it down, okay? So I'll take my pencil. Can you give me a name? Another name?
Jaden.
Jaden. And Jaden had,
10.
what do you have? 10 what? What's your favorite candy bar?
Apple.
Like apple? We wanted to say apples. Okay, so Jaden had how many apples? What's our number? 10. Jaden had 10 apples, and what's another good name?
Ethan.
Okay, so Jaden had 10 apples, and Ethan had, oh, we're going to use that number,
6.
6 apples. And are we going to say how many did they have all together, or are we going to say how many more apples did Jaden have?
Altogether.
Well, we got confused. All together is for addition, and how many more is for subtraction. So we're going to use what?
How more?
How many more? And let's actually try to solve that one. Do you know 10 take away 6? Do you know how to do that? How about if I draw 10 circles? What's my second number?
6.
So how many am I going to cross out?
6.
Yeah? You want to cross out 6 circles, please? You girls done?
Yes.
Okay, you're right there. All right, now count how many are left. Let's count how many are left. 1.
4.
Good job. So 10 take away 6 is?
4.
Perfecto. All right, we're almost done. We're just going to share our problems. All right, so who wants to go first? Angel, what's your addition problem?
Peggy has 10 pencils and Alicia has 6 pencils. How many more pencils did Peggy have than Alicia?
How many more? Is that a subtraction one or is that an addition one? That's all right. So you gave me your subtraction one? That's fine, as long as you know the difference. So that was a subtraction problem. Good job. Give me your addition one now, Angel.
Okay. Alex had 9 mangoes. He went to the peach tree and picked 7 more mangoes. How many mangoes does Alex have altogether?
Good, and we used our key words. That's excellent. Who would like to go next? Nikki.
Jessica had 9 puppies and Maddie had 7 puppies. How many puppies do they have all together?
Good, and there's our key word all together, so that's excellent. And what's your subtraction one?
Ethan had 10 books to carry and Kyle had 6 books to carry. How many more books did Jack carry than Kyle?
Very nice, and there's our key word. And what was the key word in Nikki's question? Geneva,
Wait, which one?
in the subtraction one.
What's how many?
How many more? Good. And Geneva, you want to read yours? Your addition one?
Janicia had 9 oranges and Lydia had seven oranges. How many oranges do they have in all?
Very good. And what was the key word in Geneva's question? Nikki.
In all.
Very good. And your subtraction one?
Geneva had 10 bananas and Genesia had six. Geneva gave some to Genesia. How many more did Genesia receive?
Good. And what was the key word in that one, Angel?
How many more?
How many more? You want to help me read yours? Okay. So, remember that word?
7.
Lydia
Leah
had
had 9 apples. Jessica
good.
had 7 apples.
And then we said, how many did they have
All
altogether?
together.
Very good. All right, so our time is about up, and we will finish up. Thank you very much, and great job, guys.